So this, I mean, that's been,
Call to order the Gurnee Village Board meeting of October 24, 2022. Roll call, please.
Ross. Here. Garner.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Balmas.
present.
Thorstensen.
Here.
Woodside.
Here.
6 present.
You'll stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the first item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda as presented. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee O'Brien. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the October 10th, 2022 Village Board meeting. Item number 2, approval of Engineering Division's recommendation to award sanitary sewer cured in-place pipe service contract to Hoare Construction, Inc. at a cost not to exceed $150,000 municipal partnering joint bid consortium contract. Item number 3, approval of the 2023 Village Board meeting schedule. Item number 4, approval of payroll for period ending October 7, 2022 in the amount of $961,672.64. Item number 5, approval of bills for period ending October 24, 2022 in the amount of $1,129,915.41.
Is there a motion to approve?
Second, I'm so moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Next item, petition and communications.
None tonight.
None. Reports.
None.
Old business.
No.
On to new business. All right. Item number 1, approval of ordinance 2022,
58.
authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Gowalt Hamilton Associates, Inc. for engineering services Phase 1 and 2 for the Dilly's Road pedestrian path from the ComEd right-of-way to Stern School Road. Pat?
Sure. So you had a memo from our village engineer, Nick Leach, on this. Kind of a unique opportunity we have potentially to partner with the county to get some pedestrian improvements in place. As you know, we continue to hear from residents that they'd like to get across I-94 via Grand Avenue. Obviously, very traffic heavy. You have on and off ramps, you have the tollway, so just not financially feasible to do, and also safety concerns and traffic management. So our approach has been to direct pedestrians either to Dilly's Road or Washington Street, or up to Stern School or Washington Street. Both have pedestrian facilities on them. You know, Stern School Road Bridge just installed pedestrian facilities on the south side. So there is a gap along Dilly's Road. We've been talking to the county about it. The county's aware of it. It's on their list of items to take a look at, but it's not within their 5-year plan. We'd like to see this happen sooner than 5 years. So they had suggested that we reach out, if we want to move forward with Phase 1 and 2 engineering, talk with Gowalt Hamilton. They've done other similar work for Lake County, been successful on that. Reached out to them. Nick received a proposal for the Phase 1 and Phase 2, totals about $124,000. The Phase 1 really looks at and says, can an 8-foot wide path fit along the east side of Dilly's Road from the ComEd right-of-way up to Stern School? And then Phase 2, we'll get into more in-depth engineering, and then Phase 3 is construction. The county's, in some verbal conversations, has alluded to that if the Phase 1 determined that the project was feasible, they might be willing to pick up the cost for Phase 2 and then cover Phase 3 construction. So the Phase 1 is $50,000, Phase 2 is $73,000. We anticipate constructing the project would be, you know, $200,000-$300,000. So there's a potential to have maybe a $500,000 improvement installed along Dilly's Road for as little as $50,000 on the village's behalf. So we'd like to move forward with the phase 1 and Phase 2 to see if it's feasible. And as we continue forward, you know, strengthen up, obviously in agreement with the county if there's going to be some reimbursement or some cost sharing going forward. So Nick has adequate funding left in this year's budget to get this going, so staff is recommending to move forward with Gaywald Hamilton to have them start taking a look at this.
Is there any comments or discussion? Trustee Thorstensen?
Well, you read my mind. I thought this is amazing. I just submitted this very road in the Lake County survey that came up, that they asked us how we wanted our money spent, because of course, helping residents get around. But Dilly's particularly is getting worse, not better, with some of the semis that are cutting over, taking that road. And so I don't take my bike on that road right now. I go through the subdivisions, but I'm concerned about anybody that's taking that road right now. So this is fantastic news.
Trustee O'Brien?
I agree with Trustee Thorstensen on those points also. My question was to ballpark, when, I know we're going to do our part, but when might this be actually built?
We're shooting for, if all goes well in terms of design, possibly getting this constructed, this coming construction season. So this will be fiscal year '24.
Wow, thanks.
Awesome.
To my left, anybody have any comments or questions? Nope. Is there a motion?
Move to approve?
Second?
Motion by trustee Ross, second by trustee O'Brien. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner. O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas. Thomas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. On to item number 2, approval of ordinance 2022,
59.
authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Clark Dietz, Inc. for engineering services for the Stony Island area water main improvements. Pat?
Sure. Another memo from village engineer Nick Leach on this. That Stony Island is an area over basically Greenleaf and Washington-ish, northwest corner, that we've had some issues with main breaks over there. Again, it's cast iron pipe that's been in the ground for a long time, becomes brittle over time, and tends to break easy. So staff would like to get some design work completed ahead of time, so that when funding's available, they can move forward with replacing pipe in that area. Clark Dietz, we've been using on multiple projects over the last 5 years or so. Also have used them for some road work design, so it only makes sense that we would mirror those two up. So Nick reached out to Clark Dietz, got a proposal for design work in that area. There was a map included in your packet that kind of shows the roads that we're looking at. The recommended, or the contract price from Clark Dietz was a $75,000 contract to get that design work together. It would be shelf-ready then, so when funding was available, they could pull that design off the shelf, get it on the street to bid it, and then hopefully move forward with the contract. So again, there's funding in this year's budget to cover it. It gets us a jump start on future year improvements.
Any questions or comments? There being none, motion?
Second?
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Item number 4, approval of renewals related to the village's self-insured. Item 3, I'm sorry. Oh, I skipped over it. Thanks. Approval of ordinance 2022,
60.
authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Presino Engineers LLC for design, engineering, bidding, and construction oversight services for the replacement of the Village Hall air distribution system. Pat?
Sure. So memo from our management assistant, Jody Luke, on this. Village Hall was opened in 1992. Really haven't had any major investments in the HVAC system since the replacement of the condensing unit, which was probably 13, 14, 15 years ago. So the system is finicky. Finding parts to replace and repair the system has become increasingly difficult, to the point that we've bought some used stuff off of eBay to keep the system going. All the controls are pneumatic, so they're controlled by air, which is really outdated technology. And again, finding companies that still service pneumatics controls is getting harder and harder. So constantly band-aiding the system and dealing with issues. We reached out to FGM Architects, who was the architect for Fire Station 3, to see if they had a recommendation on a firm that could help us come up with a plan for a phased improvement to the system. They recommended Persano Engineering. I brought them on site, had a meeting with myself, David, I think Nick and Jody tagged along to go over the system. Very knowledgeable, come highly recommended. Felt really good after meeting with them on site. So they put a proposal together to help us come up with a plan and a design for replacement of the system over a multi-year period. That proposal's $32,250. I included a schedule in here, so you can see all the steps that'll be conducted and when they take place. The first physical work that we would see in the building actually is a year off from now. So we get them working on designing the system, coming up with an approach, like I said, that we can do it in a phased process. That'll allow us to put some money in next year's budget to get the whole project rolling. So like I said, come highly recommended, very knowledgeable, and staff is recommending to move forward with them to get them working on this. So again, we can plug in and plan accordingly as we start the budget development process.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Woodside, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Item number 4, approval of renewals related to the village's self-insured medical plan. Health insurance plan stop-loss coverage, a period of 12 months with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at an estimated cost of $548,856 and $16,775 for aggregate coverage. And administrative services only contract for a period of 12 months with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at a rate of $74.65 per employee per month, and adjusted for anticipated annualized prescription rebates of $249,094. Okay?
Yeah, so this is where I stop talking and kick it to Christine. So Christine comes before the village board on an annual basis with our health insurance renewals. So she provided a pretty detailed memo in here. She worked with Peter Wright from Wright Benefit to renegotiate the health insurance, and she's going to walk us through where we ended up.
Okay, thank you, Pat. So as Pat mentioned, myself, Erica Wells, our Assistant Finance and HR Director, met with Peter Wright from Wright Benefit Strategies, along with Matt Sheppy from Wilson Partners. Wilson Partners works with Wright Benefit Strategies as our data analytics side of the process that we go through annually. So through Peter's work with Matt, we get a very detailed analysis of what's going on in our plan, our expenditures, and maybe some strategies to try to bring those under control. But as we go forward, we have been self-insured for, as long as I can remember at this point. So we are looking to continue with our self-insurance status. We did review the market last year and brought a contract, or we reviewed the market last year for another vendor, but decided to stay with Blue Cross. Given the way things are behaving right now in the market, between the inflation and just we had some unfavorable claims experience due to COVID-related catch-up claims, this was not the year to market our plan, so we did stay with just Blue Cross. Initially, the stop-loss quote came in significantly higher than what it ended up at. It was originally a 15.4% increase due to Peter's work and diligence with meeting with Blue Cross and raising very positive points about our experience and our longevity with Blue Cross. They were able to back that down to a 5% increase. So that's typically more in line with what we've been experiencing. So we do recommend that we move forward with Blue Cross to continue with our stop-loss coverage under the plan. In regards to our pharmacy, there's really no changes. Blue Cross Blue Shield offers its own pharmacy benefit managers through Prime Therapeutics. We've been with them since we've been with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Again, prescription drug costs are a lot under our plan. We do our best to try to come up with new strategies every year working with Blue Cross. There's some things out there that we like to kind of stay on top of. There's a couple of new programs, but it came across that perhaps at this time it's not being offered to municipal markets, so due to some legislation. So Peter and his team is still looking into that, and if we can get on board with some of those additional savings plans that are offered for prescription drugs, we will do so. As mentioned, the administrative services fees, those are just the fixed costs under the plan to provide our network, to process claims, to do utilization review, and any other, myriad of administrative type services that come under the plan. So that was a slight increase. Again, we use our prescription drug rebates, which are going down this year based on less utilization from last year, which is a good thing, but that also, is a bad thing in terms of our administrative fee coverage. So, but we'll take the gains on the prescription drugs. So, the biggest thing that's always the most difficult thing to target is our claims exposure, what we expect to happen in terms of utilization over the next year. We're constantly looking backwards to see where we've been, to see if that can predict what we're going to be in looking at in the upcoming year. Last year, we thought we would be better off with claims, but then as things got back to normal, there's been a lot of catch-up claims from COVID, things that were put on hold for a year and a half. So a lot of those claims started to hit our system, especially midsummer through about now. There's been a lot of delayed billing that has hit our plan this year from 2021 fees. Any number of reasons why it took that long to get the billing through, but I'm sure there was some combination of staffing issues and just, differences with new coding for COVID-related claims and things like that. So we'll continue to monitor our claims. Again, Blue Cross has some new strategies out there through some apps for wellness and other medical-related conditions to help people manage those costs better and manage their health care that way. So we're going to look into that a little bit further and see what those may entail, and if we find a good product that might help manage a significant portion of our claims given a certain health condition, we have the ability to add that at any point during the year. So we just need to take a little bit more time to kind of look at our claims and determine if there's something that's a good fit to help with that in the future. And then lastly, Peter, again, has been our broker of record and our consultant to the plan since May of 2006. For the upcoming year, there's been no proposed change in his fees, so it just continues forward unless there's a change. But I will take any questions at this point.
Any questions? Any comments? Nope. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Ross. Garner. O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Peter, for your hard work on this. We appreciate that, and thank you, Christine, as well. I think our employees will thank you as well, right? Yeah, thanks. Item number 5, approval of renewal of employee life insurance and accidental death and dismemberment policies with the standard for a 24-month period beginning January 1st, 2023. Pat?
Christine's on a roll, so we'll let her continue.
All right. So I wish I had better news on the life insurance. A 2-cent per $1,000 of coverage doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at it percentages, it really jumps up there. But again, with the current financial market and just with conversations that Peter had with a lot of carriers, there was just no negotiation on fees this year on the rate renewals. So we weren't going to get very far if we went out to market that, and most likely would come in higher than what we had. So the renewal is for a 2-cent increase for this next year. It's a 2-year rate guarantee, so that rate increase will go on the first year, and then the second year of the quote is held steady at that rate. Ironically, as we looked back, the last time that we marketed this, the renewal rate that was given to us by our former carrier is actually more more than what this current rate is, and that was 4 years ago. So I guess we've been able to kind of stave off that increase for 4 years, and, you know, even still at this point, we're a little bit ahead of where we would have been had we not done that marketing back then. So while nobody likes to have an increase, you know, given where we are with the market, it's just recommended that we move forward with keeping with the standard for this next 2 years, and then hopefully in 2025, as we look into that plan year, we'll be able to market and have a more fair assessment. And then some of our volumes will decrease with some employee demographic changes. We still have a very high volume of over age 50 and higher salaries at that level. So as we continue to see retirements and some of those costs shifting off the plan into lower salary levels and lower age brackets, that should hopefully also help us in our marketing for the next go-around.
Any questions or comments? Motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee O'Brien. Second by trustee Balmas. Roll call, please.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Eastonwood. Balmas. Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Thank you again, Christine and Peter.
Thank you.
On to item G is public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to speak. If you'd like to step up to the microphone and state your name. Yes. I hope so. Long as you like. Jeremy, could you point that down? You want to grab her microphone, or Chief? Oh, there you go. Thank you. Probably what would be helpful is that the Plan Commission had, it's just the audio portion, but if you'd like to, we could arrange for you to listen to the presentation that was given by the truck dealership. And just a couple of points, for clarification. It's correct, we haven't been able to obtain a stoplight at Manchester, which we really would like to with our fire station there. It's been super important to us. We've done absolutely everything to try to get it there, and one of the reasons why it cannot be put there is that there needs to be a certain level of traffic. So whether it comes from a truck dealership or some other use, the increased number of vehicles coming up to Manchester from where the fire station is at, we believe will allow for the traffic light to be installed. No guarantees, but that is it's called a traffic warrant. So that's important to us. Second of all, I think when you listen to the presentation, you'll hear that it's not just all semi-trucks. There's a variety of trucks that they sell. And they also go through and explain the mechanical portion in terms of they do repairs and how that works inside their bays. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. In November, probably towards the end of November, you'll see communication to the public about there being a meeting here in front of the village board. And that's where we received the recommendation from the Plan Commission. And they've recommended, I don't know what the votes were exactly, but they've recommended it to us. And then we decide afresh what that decision is, whether or not they would be allowed to build there. So it'd be good to get all the information. I understand you're going out to the public, and it would be good to tell them all exactly what's happening, and I'm good with that. Just make sure you have the right facts. So the next public meeting would be before us, the village board, and it's not been exactly set, but it'll probably be the end of November. Probably shortly thereafter. Probably, but I don't know what their timing is exactly. I mean, the first step is that they would have to be approved by us from the village board. If we don't approve it, then it doesn't happen. And, right. No, I don't, yeah, I'm not arguing with that. I just want to make sure you have the facts straight so that it's not mischaracterized in terms of what the use is, so, yeah. Okay, thank you. You certainly can.
I'll be a little quicker than my wife. My name's Roy Blackfield. I live at 672 John. Throughout living in Gurnee, I've gotten involved with Gurnee Mills. And we've been out on the road, and Dick was on there. If you were involved with the mills, they were going with Waukegan's zone. They wanted to make what Waukegan would want. we paid them, but they didn't let us know what was happening. So I mean, like, the people in Speaker, all the subdivisions lost 400. Most of the people didn't know about it. So, but with that said, I've met you before, you walked my house, Mr. Hood, and you guys are doing a great job. But the thing is, I can't see the plus of this at all. You know, if you do go forward with it, at least we could address the issues that we've always lived by. You don't want to turn it into 41. You know, they say it's in Gurnee, Indiana. You really want to shoot for stuff that looks like Gurnee, Indiana. I don't think so. Didn't even go so well.
No. Thank you. I really appreciate your comments. It's important to us as a board to hear from you, and that's what this is all about and why we have public meetings. Otherwise, we just would hear their side and not hear any more. So, thanks. And again, like I said, there'll be another opportunity to talk in front of the village board before a decision is made. So, thanks again for coming out tonight. All right, so, Brian, you want to talk about the executive session?
It'd be appropriate for a motion and roll call vote to go into executive session. This would be exemption C1 to discuss a specific employee personnel matter. Again, that would be the motion, and we need a roll call.
Is there that motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Ross, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. There's a motion to adjourn.
No, you don't need a motion, just adjourn.
All right. We just go. Right.
Get up and go.
Ross. Garner.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Here.
Woodside.
Here.
6 present.
No further action taken. Motion to adjourn. No, we're going to do, oh, sorry, at the end. Oh, sorry. Approval of resolution 2022,
05.
authorizing execution of a settlement agreement and general release of claims. So is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by trustee Woodside, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Now, is there a motion to adjourn?
Jeannie likes to give that. I defer to
Motion by trustee
Jeannie.
Balmas, second by trustee
Greg.
Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.